Oh, what is up everyone, I am DeviantCringe and welcome to the 40,000 subs Q&A, ladies and gentlemen. We have finally reached it and it is super awesome. So obviously I'm super happy that we finally reached this. We are almost halfway to 100k and I cannot wait to get down into the awesome questions that all you guys and girls have for me. So without further ado, let us get on with it, shall we? Okay, so the first one comes from BerryPie11, who says, I have a few questions. I hope at least one is picked, of which I will be answering 3. So the first one is, what fetish on DA pisses you off the most? Honestly, there was one video on my older channel that got taken down very quickly, within like a few days, I have to say, and I think that has to be one of the most, if not the most controversial ones they have done, and this fetish really pissed me off the most because it literally sexualized a debilitating disease. Like, the video was called Polio Fetish, and yes everyone, I know you probably might be questioning your faith in humanity right now, but there are some people that did literally do photo manipulations of like actual like regular healthy women and made their legs look like they've been infected with polio, and it's just fucking disgusting. Honestly, it really makes my piss boil whenever I think about it. So that's pretty much it. The second one is, what are your thoughts on Shaolin Showdown if you've seen the show? Honestly, I have. I actually have seen the show a lot when I've been eating dinner. It actually goes on around 7 p.m. And I have to say, I really, the show, it's basically this, collection-based show, like these Shingan-woos and all that stuff. They try to collect them and have these battles. The action scenes are actually kind of interesting. The show itself, I think it's trying a bit too hard to be like a chibi and cutesy style. I really don't like the faces they're making. And those little swirls they have on their tongues is like really annoying to me. I just find it kind of stupid. I'm not the target demographic, so obviously I'm probably not gonna like it as much, but yeah, that's basically my take on it. The action scenes are quite interesting, besides the whole CGI, because the CGI really looks horrible when it's on a cartoon budget. So yeah, that's basically it. I don't really like it, don't really hate it, but it's just yeah, it's kind of mediocre in my opinion. And the third one is, do you plan on covering the Total Drama fandom? It's a really screwed up fandom. Yes, the Total Drama fandom, I'm thinking of doing multiple videos on those actually. Like, I honestly don't know what the fuck draws people to watch that show. It's basically like one of the worst combinations you could ever make. Like, if live action shows and CN weren't enough, combining a fucking Lost style reality show with cartoons is like really ugh. Like, I pretty much hate everything that has to do with that show. It's like the animation is absolutely god fucking awful. The characters are horribly annoying and just, they're stereotypic, but they're not the funny type of stereotype. They're just annoying, And just the plot of the show, it's basically just a huge ripoff of Lost, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna cover that fandom. Next up, we have Rabbit in a Box, who says, in your opinion, what is the strangest fandom or account on DA you've ever ranted on? And there have been so many weird ones I've touched on, I honestly can't say. One of the weirdest ones, I did a video on my older channel, on a channel called Spoopyro. Who's actually pretty talented, I do think I had shared a few notes with him. I think he's a pretty nice guy and all that, but the strangest fandom, definitely his style of fandom, because he was basically drawing these like Equestria girls, drawing them as different objects, kind of like ice creams and puddles of water and all that stuff. It's pretty weird, but like the guy basically, he does draw pretty well, so I guess that's the weirdest one I ranted on. SparkleWolf91 says, question, if you could be a superhero, what would be your name and power or powers? Well, honestly, I haven't really thought up of a name, but I would like to have the power of flight, invisibility, and I think time stopping would actually be pretty cool, like being able to freeze everything. Kind of like in that one movie where I forgot the name of it, but there's like one character who could run like super fast and basically set everything up. Like, a lot of people were shooting at him or like trying to punch him, and then he was like setting them up in different positions. It was really funny, but yeah, that's kind of what my powers would be. I haven't really thought up of a name. I don't know. Japanese Blossom says, RIP, I got a late notification. Anyway, my question is, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? Much love from a fan. My favorite ice cream flavor, I can't really say like a definitive one, but my 3 favorites are caramel, cookie dough, and what's another one I really like? Oh yeah, strawberry, definitely. I really like those 3. Okay, so ThePie says, question, can you still re-upload your old videos? And Belladiga1 says, same, I'm uploading old videos. Unfortunately, I Unfortunately, I didn't really take precaution on my old channel to like back my videos up. So unfortunately, those are lost to the wind. It's pretty sad, but you know, that's what happens. Sugar Drop 50 says, how do you feel about Solar Sands, and how do you feel about the Solar Cringe ship? I'm asking the second one because I want to know if you're comfortable with people shipping it. Well, the first one is, I really don't have an opinion on Solar Sands because I really don't know him personally. And when it comes to his content, I guess he's okay and all that stuff. About the Solar Cringe ship, I really don't care. You know, like if people want to do it, they can just, you know, go buck wild and all that. I really don't care. I'm not gonna like tell anyone to stop. So yeah, you can do what you want. KiddyTheBiddy says, can you eat my ass? No homo. No, but if you're a woman, I could eat your tacos. Burger Bunnies YT says, I recently subbed. I instantly questioned what I was doing with my life because I missed 90% of your content. Well, I guess you had some other stuff to do. Also, if I could have a question, what's the worst account you've ever seen / reviewed on DA? Yeah, I really can't decide which one was the worst, so I'm just gonna say pretty much all the accounts I covered in my polar fetish video, because those people are fucking sick in the head. AbbaKittyCat says, congrats my dude, me and my sister have been watching from the start. Thank you so much, I'm really grateful. And she has 2 questions. Question 1 is, who is your favorite movie actor / actress? And I honestly can't really say because I'm not really all that much of an actor guy. Like I don't really take the time to like memorize, you know, all of the actors and celebrities and all that stuff, because I'm not really too interested in that, and just, you know, watch it and see it and all that stuff. And like honestly, I'm not really all that into movies as of late, because you know, the industry has basically just been saturated with like superhero movie after superhero movie, and I just can't be bothered to memorize all their names because you know, there's so many like superhero movies, you don't really know what to watch. And question 2, who is your favorite character from Overwatch? I actually don't have Overwatch, but Mei is definitely my overwaifu. Just some random person says, I have a question, when will you update your avatar? And that's actually a pretty interesting one. Now, I have actually been in contact with Baby Blue Bones, and she did say that she was, you know, planning on making a ref sheet for my character and giving it to me, so I'll be able to commission some other artists into making like more expressions, maybe more different like details and all that. So we'll see where that's gonna go, and whenever something comes up, I'll make a video about it, you know, like a little bit of an update. GamingArtist says, question, sorry if you had already answered this, what was your favorite show to watch as a child? That would definitely have to be Samurai Jack. Like Samurai Jack was honestly, it's my all-time favorite show of all time. Like when it comes to cartoons and all that stuff, I have other like shows, but yeah, as when it comes to cartoons, Samurai Jack is definitely the best one. It's like something about Jack is like his story is just so inspiring, you know. He's basically the guy that it's basically Jack versus the world, honestly. Like basically everyone was out to get him, and you know, he never gave up. You know, he helped so many people along the way, and it's just awesomely inspiring to me, you know. Also, that one episode with the robot X9 who was looking for his dog, it's just tug at your heartstrings, man. I honestly cannot forget that episode. LuckyM says, which of your videos was your favorite to work on? And there are actually a lot of them. I'm not trying to dodge any questions by saying, oh my god, I can't say my definitively favorite one, but honestly, I can't really yeah, I have so many of them that I really loved working on, and most of them were my cartoon videos. Like, one of my favorites was the seasonal rod and animation changes one, you know, one with the Dexter in the thumbnail, how basically Ed and Eddie, Dexter's Lab, and the Powerpuff Girls really dipped in quality and experienced a lot of seasonal rot after they changed their animation style, mostly because they swapped, you know, different people to work in the studios. Another favorite of mine was definitely the post-Adventure Time art styles, and also I really did love working on the 2 Jetix videos that I did. The third one I'm gonna start recording very soon now that I have my finally normal audio setup and all that stuff. I really loved working on those because I really wanted to talk about Jetix for so long. And the other question is, you're great in critiquing art, and I wonder if you can give me tips on my animation. You're awesome. Congrats, by the way. Well, thank you so much. And if you want me to give you like tips on your animation, you can just if you have like a DeviantArt, or if you want to send me like a message on YouTube, you know, you can just send me a few ones, and I'll you know, give you some tips if you want. Aurora Dingo says, congrats on 40k. Thank you so much. Question, what's the worst person you've done a video on? Definitely again, you know, the ones that I covered in my polio fetish video. Question, what is your favorite food? One of my favorites is ramen, and the other one is cheesecake, by far. One of the best flavors in the universe. Cheesecake, just hands down. Question, dogs or cats? I actually like both of them. Question, what is your favorite season? I really do like the spring and summer, but I also really do like the winter. So again, I'm probably gonna have to say summer on that, because, you know, it's a very, like, you really don't have to dress all that much, you know, like, with light clothes and all that, and Vaporwave just doesn't sound the same when it's, like, in different seasons. And the last one, a question, favorite Pokemon. Honestly, I really don't care about Pokemon all that much, because I stopped caring about it since the 3rd season, which is when I started watching it, like, less and less and all that, so I really can't say, honestly. Probably, I don't know. Withered Understandings, that's a pretty cool name. Hey Deviant, I've been a subscriber since the old channel and congrats on 40k subs, thank you so much. But look, I've got to ask, what musics do you prefer / enjoy, as in genre and style of all that? Got any bands you would like to list? Well, I enjoy a huge multitude of genres, you know, like ranging from like pagan metal, all the way to like really modern genres to like future funk and all that stuff. So a lot of the genres I like are pagan metal, oi, rockabilly, like vaporwave, future funk, you know, goth, electronica, techno, industrial, definitely. You know, I really do love Depeche Mode and all that, and basically a lot of the obscure genres, you know, obscurity and all that stuff. I really do like bands such as, oh yeah, and I also love steampunk music as well, like a huge fan of steampunk. Of the bands I would like to list, I have a good number of them, but I highly recommend Depeche Mode, although a lot of people probably already heard them. About the obscure bands, I would definitely recommend Abney Park and Steam Power Giraffe. I think they are a hugely underrated band, especially since they are one of the rare bands of the modern age that actually go to the lengths of, you know, dressing up, you know, to appear on their concerts and all that stuff. You know, Kiss and a lot of the other bands actually dressed up in costumes when they were performing live shows. It's like a lot of the bands today, they don't really have any costumes or gimmicks or whatever, you know. And Steam Power Giraffe really does have a nice vibe and all that. Another band is Wardruna, which is like a pagan metal band. They do like these very ambience, you know, like songs, and they actually and some of their music was actually used for the Vikings TV show, which I'm a huge fan of. By the way, I'm really happy they finally killed King Ayla. Like, that guy was such a son of a bitch. And when it comes to like the more modern genres like vaporwave and future funk, there aren't really any bands, more like individual musicians. So I recommend like Skylar Spence, previously who was known as Saint Pepsi, Telepath, Android Apartment, Vincent Remember, Mitch Murder, and Trevor Something. SunnyDays says, are you a proud Kekistani or a freaking normie? Oh, and congratulations. Dude, do you even need to ask? Come on. Falling Fire says, what gave you the idea to make the videos that you do, and what kind of music gives you the most motivation? Congrats on 40k, thank you so much. What gave me the idea to do the videos? I basically grew up watching a lot of, you know, the older comedians such as Andrew Dice Clay, Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, and Louis C.K. before he went all SGW mode. I basically love this whole style of insult comedy and offensive humor. It not only is it funny, it also weeds out the thin-skinned little bitches from the common sense crowd. And in terms of what music gives me the most motivation, I would have to say pagan metal, pirate metal, and definitely, you know, like future funk and all that stuff. Whenever I hear like Saint Pepsi or like Android Apartment, you know, I always get this like drive in me, you know, to do something. Ayako Wolfie says, do you have any pets or things that mean a lot to you? I have a kitty and the blanket my mom made me, a Q&A. Well, that's pretty cute. Yeah, like I did say, I did have a pug once, but I would definitely love to have, you know, like other pets somewhere down the line. I'd probably, I really do like huskies and cats and all that stuff, but I would also like to get maybe a chameleon or like a puma. Although there's probably never a chance I'm going to get one of those, but yeah, if I ever got a puma, I'd call it Diabolique. Jimmy403 says, hi DC, if you were an animal, what would you be? I don't know how to draw people in very well. want to make fan art of you, so you'd be doing me a huge favor for your answer. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for wanting to draw fan art of me. If I were an animal, I'd probably be either a wolf or a raven. Okay, so this is a bit of a long-winded one. I had to actually take a few sips from your Red Bull. Victoria Pinkowski says, hello from a longtime fan, DC. Congratulations on your milestone. I wish that it wouldn't be the last one for your channel, and in less than a year on your channel will hit 100k subs, but alas, I have a few questions that I'd like to be glad if you answer them. Well, honestly, thank you so much. I really do hope that I also hit that milestone within a year, but you know, wishful thinking and all that stuff, all we can do is just go forward. Question 1, what is your opinion on anime in general and anime style art in specific? Is there any anime that you would really like? Well, honestly, the majority of anime I like are really like older animes, you know, like old school. The most recent anime I actually liked was like Dead Man Wonderland, and I don't even know what year that was in, probably like 2012, 13 or whatever. I really like, you know, a lot of the older anime, the 80s and 90s, and even, you know, like 70s, you know, like the first Gundam released in 1979, so that kind of counts as 70s. I really do love, you know, like anime movies such as Wicked City and Angel's Egg, which is an absolutely huge underrated classic. Go watch Angel's Egg, I swear to God you will love it. And when it comes to like modern anime, I really don't like the way that the direction in which it's going. It's basically going for these perfectly smooth, you know, buffed complexions that the characters have, basically makes them look like silicone dolls and all that stuff. It's pretty stupid. And ever people started using like computers to produce anime, like the details, the amount of detail work in animes really fell through the floor. It's like when you take a look at hand-drawn anime, they have so much, you know, minor details and all that stuff. They have such an aesthetic, and like the modern animes, especially ones that like hugely overuse fucking CGI, it's just garbage. And when it comes to like anime style art, I really actually do like it, you know, like the original Teen Titans, you know, the good one, was actually made in a sort of anime-ish type of look, and I really did like the look of that. So yeah, you know, like there can be good, you know, Western anime style art, and that could be bad one. Question 2, who are your favorite DA artists, and what part of their art do you enjoy the most? Honestly, I'm not gonna really answer that, because since I am really known for DA reviews and all that stuff, a lot of artists like watch me on DA, so I really don't want to play favorites. Question 3, and this is actually a pretty good one. Sorry for the shift in question, but in your opinion, what's the biggest reason there are so many kinky / fetish drawings of kids cartoon characters, and what exactly causing people to draw them? Well, if you're talking about fetish art with like underage characters instead of like the 18+ ones, I really do think that it's kind of like it has to do with stuff like, you know, political correctness and just the whole phenomenon known as coddling of the Western mind. Basically, you know, all this stereotype of like 30-something, you know, neckbeards living in their mama's basements. Basically, this is because a lot of people, especially like in the 90s and all that stuff, they had like soccer moms raise them, and soccer moms are probably one of the worst people you could ever meet, and they basically sheltered them from absolutely everything. You know, they basically monitored the fuck out of everything they did. They restricted their movements and all that stuff, and it basically made them unable to like fully mentally grow up, so they kind of feel like they're insecure and they cannot, you know, like relate to other adults, you know, in a romantic sense. So they kind of tie themselves to these like younger looking characters because they're basically on their level of maturity and all that stuff. It's like when it comes to fetish art of like over 18 characters, that's okay, that's still a little bit weird, but that's totally fine. But when you like see like the underage stuff, yeah, they're basically like not fully mentally grown up and all that. And question 4, last but not least, are there any pieces of bad art, despite how bad they are, you still grew up to enjoy them, aka guilty pleasures? And yes, and if yes, you still enjoy them. Well, there are some movies that I still enjoy. Like I know that the Hulk Hogan movies weren't all that good, but I still watch them as like a guilty pleasure, maybe basically because Hulk Hogan was such a huge figure, you know, like a lot of people remember him fondly and all that stuff. And of course, my good friend Mimi Dig says, what will you be doing to improve your content more for new audiences? Thank you so much for commenting, Mimi. I hope you're doing well, you know, hope your channel is doing well and all that stuff. And yeah, now that I have my, you know, now that I have an actual audio setup, you know, like with the arm and the pop filter and windscreen, now I can focus more on my scripted videos and all that stuff. There'll be like better sound quality, so I can kind of focus more on that in terms of like improving the content. You know, the sound is definitely better, and I will be working on, you know, like learning better editing programs like Adobe Premiere. Green Pumpkin Queen says, hey there, so how's it like here in Croatia? I'm just asking because I myself am from here, and in my opinion it's pretty good, well, except for all the storms that's happening recently. Honestly, look man, those storms can fucking eat my goddamn dick. I am so annoyed. every single time, like the wind starts like picking up and ripping branches, I constantly have to like pull in the window blinds and just, you know, tie them like so they don't fly off and all that. I'm just so sick of it. And when it comes to like how I think it is over here, I think it's actually pretty nice. You know, it's pretty peaceful and all that. Ultimately, it's really not all what it's cracked up to be, because let's face it, you know, like the internet culture over here is like the Stone Age. Like we still haven't caught up to like the level of the early stages of YouTube and all that stuff. And it's like the problem with millennials in this country. It's like in America and Canada, most millennials are fucking SJW retards, but over here there's like a lot of people are fucking douchebags, you know. So yeah, it is actually pretty nice, but it's kind of hard to find people, you know, like to actually relate to and all that stuff when you're doing something like this, like with YouTube, you know. And not a lot of people are gonna understand what it is, and a lot of people over here still have this idiotic mindset that gaming is just for kids and all that. Of course, that is going away, you know, like that is going away. There is a subculture going on, but still, you know, we're still kind of behind the times. You know that whole stereotype, like East Europe is kind of like 10 or 15 years behind everything else. That is totally 100% true. Plus, our president is a huge fucking EU supporter, which is a huge detriment. And now for the DA questions. I do have a few DA questions because a lot of them were pretty much a lot of the same, you know, like how did I start out and all that stuff, but I do have a few. So first off, we have Mad Dog 197X, who says, congrats, I have a couple of questions. First, how did you meet Baby Blue Bones? Apologies if I didn't get the name exactly right, you actually did. Second, how do you pick your featured artist for Thank the Watchers? Is it just random or some other method? So for the first question, is it all started on Twitter. She kind of made a group picture of me and her OC with some of her other friends, which was pretty cool. Then we started talking on Skype and all that, and that's basically how it happened, you know, like we started talking a little bit through the notes, and then on Skype, and sooner or later we were together and all that stuff. That was pretty cool while it lasted. She's a pretty nice person, you know, and I'm really happy that I met her. And for the second question, yes, I do actually pick them out at random because I want to give everyone a fair shake, you know. I really don't want to, like I said, don't want to play any favorites. You know, it's not like I'm only searching artists that have like core memberships or artists that like have the most best looking pictures. You know, it's just at random. You know, I select 5 watchers at random, and the thing that I pick out by myself, you know, like the only thing that I actually pick out by myself is the picture of them that I gotta feature. Vizero says, congrats, and the question, what gave you the idea to make videos about cringe artwork and such? You know, like I said, you know, like I watched a lot of the older comedians such as George Carlin, like Andrew Dice Clay, Eddie Murphy, and all that stuff. It's basically, on one end, it's really funny, and two, it really separates the thin-skinned little bitches from the common sense crowd. So that's about it. And the last question of this Q&A is by Bubblebird Gaming. She says, I must ask, how did you design your avatar? Now, the design itself, the one that I'm using right now, was made by Baby Blue Bones, and it's actually pretty cool. Like, the very first design, the very first, you know, piece of fan art that I got was made by Zuzi Draws Stuff, and it was basically, you know, just how I described my character with the jailhouse rocker and all that stuff and the blindfold. The second one who did my character was a Riggy Rooney, who's actually a pretty cool artist, and you know, the third one is Baby Blue Bones. She's actually pretty cool because you know, her design also gave me kind of like a different story arc, you know. Like, first off, I started with the blindfold, but it wasn't enough to shield my eyes from the cringe and all that. So Blue Bones kind of imbued my eyes with the powers of the undead. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the 40k subs Q&A. Thank you all so much for you know, helping me reach this and all that. I couldn't have done it without all of you. And here's to 40k more. You know, here's a victory vape for all of you. And of course, thank you so much for posting all these questions. They were pretty interesting, you know, I did like them. So thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and press the little bell icon. And as always, I'm DeviantCringe, and I'll be seeing you guys and gals in the next video.